Hey everyone, welcome to the Get Your Life Together Girl Mini Mindset Reset. I'm your host, Danielle Van. As a cognitive behavioral therapist, a life coach to women, and author, one thing has become abundantly clear. So much of what gets in our way in our daily lives is not only how we think, but what we think, our mindset. Because of that, every other week, I'm taking your requests and questions and handing over quick, easy to use, practical strategies and life tools to help you shift your thinking, create calm, help you understand and express your emotions, harness your inner power, and learn how to navigate your personal story in 15 minutes or less. After all, how else can you get your life together? So let's shift your perspective with the tools and conversations that help you in the throes of change. The Get Your Life Together Girl podcast mini mindset reset starts right now. I am so excited to bring you something new. This idea was born from the sheer number of emails and DMs I receive each week regarding ways to handle a vast number of situations that have a way of upsetting our lives. So every other week, I'm going to pick a new topic that you have submitted, and I'm going to give you a practice or a tool to help you challenge whatever may be challenging you. And we're kicking it off with one topic that I'm asked about most, really, whether it is in DM or on social media or in my email. And that is how to challenge negative thinking. So let's jump right in. Here's the deal. If you practice this exercise consistently, you'll be amazed with how automatic it will become to challenge your negative thoughts and those negative thinking loops that really can take you down. This practice is really excellent for dealing with anxiety too, so give it a try as well. But I want you to give yourself 15 minutes and try this practice before you begin to try to work it in your day-to-day life, because it does take practice, which means it takes attention and focus. The first step when we are challenging negative thoughts is to simply become aware of your thoughts. Literally think about your thinking. As you do, I want you to write down the thoughts that come in. With the thought on paper, look at the quality of your thought. Is it positive, negative, or neutral? Neutral being neither good nor bad. Then I want you to place a rating that you have given to the thought next to the sentences or sentence that you have written. So positive, negative, neutral. Step 2 in challenging our negative thinking is to decide whether or not you believe the thought. Ask yourself, is this my truth? Is this thought true? Do I believe that this thought or these thoughts are my reality? If the thought is positive, it will be easy to answer it, right? It'll be really automatic. Yes, this is true. However, if the thought is negative, I want you to go just a step deeper. Ask, what is at the heart of this thought? Is it that I am forecasting how something may happen? Am I really just having a bad day and I know that things will change tomorrow and I really can let go of this thought? So really look at the thought. Is this thought true? Big question. It's something to really identify. And then we can go a step further right here in step 2 and say, if I were to look into my life, would I be able to find tangible, real proof that this thought is true? Or is this thought just something that I'm using against myself? This is really important to look at, because if you can't find physical, tangible evidence, the thought may not actually be a reality. And if it's not, then it's not worth continuing to think, right? Big things here, something we don't challenge enough. Once you have your answers, you can really move into step 3, and that is leaning into whether or not the thought belongs to you. This is so important too. So when we have thoughts, they're often coming from other people's opinions, whether perceived or real. And we can use these against ourselves in negative thought patterns. They can also be negative beliefs. They can be limiting beliefs. They can be something that were said to us from our parents, our best friend, a spouse. So we began to really ask ourselves, does this thought belong to me, or has it been spoken into me by someone else? If the thought does not belong to you and it does not work for you, you can give yourself permission to let it go, right? Another way of going about this, if it's, a little harder for you to uncover, is to listen to the thought and become clear about who is speaking. Is that your voice, or is it the voice of someone else? Sometimes we agree with things that don't belong to us, and then they show up in our thought pattern many years later or a really short time later, and we have the power to let them go. So if the thought is yours, however, and it isn't working for you, it's here that we can move into step 4 of challenging our negative thoughts. And step 4 is this thought how I want to feel? So important. And this is a big question that can often shake the thought pattern to a halt. Our thoughts drive our emotions. So a thought comes in, the emotions rise within, connect to the thought, and then our emotions drive our actions. If we think negative thoughts, we feel negative emotions, and then we act accordingly. So ask yourself, is this thought how I want to feel? Most of the time, when it is a negative thought, the answer is automatically no. And so if the answer is no, we can then say, what is this thought trying to teach me? That's a big one, right? I don't want to feel negative. So what is in this for me? And that is step 5. Is there a lesson in this line of thinking? Is it trying to show me that I have something I need to address, to heal, to move through? Is this thought trying to help me understand that I'm ready to move on from something? Is it trying to expose my mind to something I've forgotten or something I need to learn? What is in this for me? Now, there will be times that negative thoughts just come in and it's just a negative thought, right? So don't overthink it. You'll know if there's something below the surface. If it feels like there's something there, then do a little bit of a deep dive to really look at, how is this thought serving me? Is it or is it not? Is it trying to point my attention into a certain direction? Once you know, move into step 6. And that is there an opposite to this thought? If the thought is, I feel stuck, an opposite of that would be, I'm ready to move forward in every area of my life. So what is the opposite? Take a moment to write it out. Whatever your thought sentence was to begin with, what is a positive that you can meet it? Now, this is really important. Sometimes when we have really negative thoughts, we struggle, and I do mean struggle, to get it to a positive aspect. And that's okay. Can you move it to a neutral? Remember, neither good nor bad. That is just as good as trying to get it to a positive, right? Because sometimes we just don't have the power within us at that moment. So can you take the negative into something that is neutral? Or can you take the neutral into a positive? We don't want to take the positive to a negative, but can we move up the scale, right? So take a moment to write it out. With the opposites written out, we can move into step 7, which is to finally challenge the thought with a new thought. If you know that there's an opposite, you can challenge the thought with the opposite. That would sound like, I feel stuck. No, actually, I feel like I'm ready to move forward and I'm ready to seek the tools that I need, right? That's a negative. I feel stuck, moved into a positive. Moving the I feel stuck to a neutral would be, I feel stuck, moved into I'm ready to see what I need to do to not feel this way, right? That's neither good nor bad, but it is moving the negative into something that feels a little less challenging. You can either challenge the thought by giving yourself permission to let it go at that point and replace it with a thought or something new that is better. Or you can offer yourself some grace for having the thought in the first place and simply say, you know what, that thought's not serving me. I'm going to think about something else. That works too, right? Because you're challenging the thought. You can always ask yourself, is there something of greater worthiness to focus my attention on? And generally, there is. Negative thoughts can own us. And so challenging them is so important. And it helps us shift our day-to-day attitude, our day-to-day mood, and can help us really feel more grounded and balanced. With enough practice, you can train yourself to automatically challenge the thoughts that may be preventing you from fully thriving in your day-to-day, right? As the thought comes in and you've really practiced this, these steps will become a habit and you'll begin to quickly move through them without much mental challenge, right? It'll just be nearly automatic at that point. This exercise can be used on any thought, anxiety-building situation, or stressful moment at any time, anywhere. But start with a piece of paper. Challenge your thoughts. I challenge you to challenge what's taking up your headspace. Can you imagine how much easier your day would be if you didn't spend so much time circling around the same negative thoughts? I challenge you to find out. Because challenging your mindset, challenging your negative thinking is an essential tool that helps you elevate and reset your mindset. Give it a try. Thank you so much for listening to the Get Your Life Together Girl mini mindset reset. If you have a subject or strategy request, email us at getyourlifetogethergirl@gmail.com. Or you can visit our website at getyourlifetogethergirl.com. If you're looking for daily inspiration or tips and tools, join the growing community at Get Your Life Together Girl on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Thank you for being a valuable member of this community. Until next time, be kind to yourself and others.